She was on the verge of obeying when the redhead named Daphne walked in with a smile on her face and 2 hot cups of coffee in her hand. "I thought you might like something while you wait. We have tea if you'd prefer." Tension gripped her body in icy talons, but she forced herself to smile. "Coffee's fine, thank you." She thought Daphne would leave, but she didn't. She pulled out a chair and sat. "Have you been in town long?" Callie wrapped chilled hands around the mug. "A few months." "Me too. I was passing through when my car kinda gave up the ghost. The guys offered me a job, and here I am." Callie took a sip and tilted her head to look at the pretty woman opposite. "They were worried I was going to run out the door, weren't they?" Daphne nodded and gave her a grin. "They kind of have an instinct for it." "So you're here to make sure I don't leave?" "I can't stop you if you want to go. But I can tell you that without these guys looking out for me, I'd have made a lot of mistakes that might have landed me in more trouble than I could handle. But they took one look at me and pulled me into the fold. Gave me a place to stay, food, and security. They're good men. I thought you should know that." Callie's throat tightened. "I appreciate you saying so." She hesitated. "I don't think Seth likes me, though. He was kind of a when I met him before. I wish it was one of the other guys I was waiting for." Daphne snorted. "Poor Seth. He's so gorgeous to look at, but he's perpetually grumpy. If I had to label him, I'd call him the serious one. He doesn't say a whole lot. He watches, though. I don't think he misses much. But don't take the grumpiness personally. He's like that with everyone." "I'll try not to, then." She suspected it was going to be easier said than done, especially when the man in question showed up a couple of minutes later wearing a scowl. "You ready?" he asked. Callie got to her feet. "Yes." "Let's go, then."
Seth strode over to the silver Toyota Sequoia sitting in the parking lot and turned to watch Callie walk toward him. The uncertainty on her face had him taking a mental step back, reminding himself he needed to be friendly, approachable. He'd done a good job of it in the conference room, but his guys had been there for backup. He'd been congratulating himself on getting her to talk when Ghost chose him to accompany her home. Not what he wanted to do. He wanted to be on his laptop, searching the dark corridors of the web for information on Mikhail Volkov and the other 2 Russians, and her connection to them. But Ghost had pointed out, rightfully, that Callie was a programmer and he was a hacker, and that meant he was the right man to go with her. Check out her place, see if there was anything suspicious, break into her computer when he got a chance. He could do it easily, but in order to do it, he had to spend time with her. Be nice, personable. It wasn't that he couldn't be personable, he could. But he wasn't all that good at the polite banter that meant nothing. He never had been. When it was better to be quiet so that nobody noticed you, you learned to be quiet. You learned to sit at the dinner table and not say anything so the grandparents who resented getting stuck with you wouldn't send you to bed still hungry, which they often did anyway, because they said you ate too much, cost too much. You learned to be quiet so your grandmother wouldn't call you a burden and a drain on her golden years. You learned to be quiet so your grandfather wouldn't take a swig of his beer and glare at you, muttering about making a man out of you. You kept your mouth shut and said nothing, praying you'd get the hell out of there someday. "Do you need to stop anywhere before we go to your place?" he asked, shoving aside thoughts about his damaged childhood. Couldn't change it. Did no good to dwell on it. They were dead now anyway.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.